Alright guys, we are here with my weekly what sold video. I did have some great sales across some of my platforms. Mercari and Depop were actually pretty slow per usual lately, but I did have a really good eBay. Last couple of days I did make a change on my eBay store, so I'm going to tell you guys about that once I get to there, and hopefully you can try this to make more money on your eBay store and with your reselling business. So if you're new here, thank you for checking me out. I do appreciate everybody that comes to support and watch my videos. Before we get into the sales, I am going to talk about Prime Lister, which is what I use for my automation for my Poshmark closet. I wouldn't do Poshmark without it, so let me just show you a little bit of their features so you can decide if this is something that you want to add for your reselling business. Okay, I have it pulled up right here. You can see all the activity that it has been doing for me so far today. I already have 2,000 shares. It has sent out 11 offers to likers. That is the features that I use the most. There are other features, as you can see here on the screen, that you can do. When I first was listing on Poshmark and selling, I did everything myself and it wasted so much time. Like I was literally on my phone all day long, sharing, and sending out offers. I have mine set up for an offers to likers to send out a couple minutes after they've liked the item. And I send out either a 10%, 20%, you can do whatever you want. You can filter that by how many days it's been listed. So lately I've been liking to send a bigger offer after it's been listed for 30 days and a smaller offer within that first month, because I'm trying to not take too much off of my price within the first month. So here you can see all the different items that you can do. And then you can go into the settings and you can see. So I have 2 minutes, 20% off the original, and then this one is the 10% off. That's what I'm doing for things that I only have listed for a month. So lots of features here that you can do on here. So please, if you haven't yet, please consider checking out Prime Lister for your Poshmark automation tool. It seriously is a game changer, and I would not run my Poshmark sales without it. I would not make as many sales without it. So if that's something you might be considering, check the link down below in my description. You can save 30% off of your first month. Please go ahead and try it. You will make more money. You will make more sales on Poshmark. Let's get into my sales. So we are going to start with Depop. I only had 2 sales on Depop. First up was a Eileen Fisher top. This sold for $35. I did get it because it wasn't a size extra large and it was linen. So it was a striped organic linen, boxy, oversized lag and look. I will use a lot for my Eileen Fisher. For a little while, I feel like I was making decent sales on Depop, and now the sales have went back down to barely anything. So not really sure what's going on. Next up, I sold these Lululemon pants for $35. These were the red city pants, and they were a pair of wide leg high-rise pants. I wasn't quite sure about these because most of the women's that I know about, they don't have this waist size on here, but my friend Keegan told me that newer Lululemon does have the waist size, so it doesn't go by the typical small, medium, large. So that was a good sale, $35. I was happy with that. Let's move on to Mercari. I actually had 2 sales, but for some reason it's only showing this one in my progress. And when I go to completed, I can't find my other one, and I don't recall it right now. So I'm just going to talk to you about this one. This was a pair of Skinify leggings. These were in a size extra large, and they sold for $32.40. I've sold this brand before, and it has done fairly well. So people want to know how many bands are in here. So you do want to make sure that you count those and you put that in your description, because that's something that people like to know. I think that I actually had the buyer pay shipping on this for once. I didn't do free shipping. Oh yeah, I did. I did free shipping. So I actually didn't make as much money as I would have hoped. So yeah, I'm trying to lately have the buyers pay shipping, but that's probably not going to work because they're already having to pay all these extra fees. I don't know. Mercari just is stupid. Let's leave Mercari. Let's go on to Poshmark. This morning I sold this Free People. Actually, we're going to talk about sales from the 21st. So let's make sure I'm not talking about any from this morning, because with my numbers that I made, that's going to be from sales from the 21st through last Friday. That was a bundle sale that I actually don't have the top pair of Eileen Fisher pants. I think I sold them somewhere else a while ago. So I messaged the buyer to ask her if she'd want to replace them. Hopefully she does. I feel bad. So we'll see. Okay, let's go on. Prana sweater, size small. This was new with tags. Prana does not do that great for me anymore. I leave it behind almost all of the time. But Since this was new with tags with the holiday season coming up, I thought I would try it. Canvas beige Sonoma Valley outdoor sweater. It doesn't say the retail price here, I don't think. So probably close to $100 though. And it sold for $35, which is kind of my base lowest price that I want to be getting for items unless I've had them for a while. Next up was a crimson clover dress that sold for $32. I've sold this brand a couple of times before. This is a merino wool sweater dress. I sold it before in something that wasn't wool and it didn't do as well. So I think that the merino wool stuff does better from the brand. Next up, I sold this Land's End coat for $45. This was a women's size 2X down puffer coat. I did put ski, winter, snow, and it was also new with tags. So that did help give it more value. I don't know if I would have picked it up if it wasn't new with tags, because even lately my plus size Land's End hasn't been doing that good with coats or puffers used. Next up is a pair of Cole Haan shoes. These were a pair of ballet flats in a size 9B. So black leather ballet flats with the gold detail bow on the top. $30 on those, pretty good, but they did sit for a little while. I sold this bundle of 3 items for $130. I was going back and forth with this buyer for so long. She kept adding things to bundles, taking them out, offering me low. Eventually, we agreed on $130. So first up is a pair of Circle G boots. These were really cool. They had lots of attention, and we're getting lots of lower offers. And then also in the bundle was this lug star print cosmetic bag. And then I sold these Alexander McQueen sandals in a size 8.5. So Alexander McQueen has this skull on it a lot, so you want to be on the lookout for that. So $130, I'm pretty happy about that sale, considering how much I paid for those 3 items. Next up is the brand Kuru. I just showed these recently, I think, in a video when I did possibly a work with me video, which I didn't really do very good, so I don't know if I should do those anymore. These were a size 9, and they are a pair of like athletic shoes, but I've sold this brand before and they did sell really fast. Within a week, I think, for $35, so I was happy with that. Next up, I sold this Eileen Fisher sweater in a size medium. This was an orange kid mohair was on the tag, and nylon sweater. It was an older tag by Eileen Fisher, but because of the material, I decided to grab it, and I guess it was a good decision because it sold pretty well. Next up is a pair of Frank and Eileen pants. These sold for $75. These were the Catherine crop pants. I actually sold 2 of these in a bundle, and I accidentally already sold a different pair, a blue pair, and I didn't delete them off Poshmark, so I need to get my act together. Luckily, the buyer was super understanding. We canceled the bundle sale. I relisted just these, and she came back and bought them for $75. So definitely be on the lookout for Frank and Eileen. Here's what the tag looks like. A huge bolo. Some things do better than others, so look up your item. Next up was a vintage white stag blazer that I sold for $20. I was picking this up for style in the fall. I'm trying not to do that as much anymore because I just don't feel like I'm very good at it, and it's hard to find exact comps sometimes, so I don't know. I was glad to get that out of my closet. Next up is a pair of LaFleur pants in a size 12. These were the Stella Ponte knit stretch pants. They were new with tags. This brand is really expensive, but sell-through rate wasn't great on the brand, so $32 on those. I sold these Agoldi jeans for $68, which was great. These were in a size 29, and they were the crisscross upsize Suburbia jeans. I don't remember where I got those. I got a few pairs of Agoldi jeans recently at Plato's Closet for $25, but then I found some other ones just at regular Goodwill pricing, which for me, my Goodwill charges $7.99 for jeans. So anyway, $68 in that's great. I did my hair like natural again, but I'm like, do I like it or not? I mean, I liked it last time, but I feel like this time it's almost like, okay, crunchy. Like I put in too much product and I feel like it's like kind of flat up here. So I don't know. You guys say you liked it last time, so, but I haven't done it very much. So I'm like, maybe I need to figure out how I'm going to style it and what's going to be best. Like I want it to be a little softer, I feel like, but I don't know. I'm also like confused with my camera angle here. Anyway, let's stop talking about my hair because you guys probably don't care. Next up, oh, there's the bundle I had to cancel. Jenny Kane shoes for $70. This was great because somebody came in and offered me like 30 bucks in these, and I was in a really annoyed mood because my sales had been so crappy that week up until this point. And I'm like, no, and I just declined them. And then somebody else came in and offered $70, and I have them listed, I think, for $100. So I was like, yes. So I was really excited about that. Jenny Kane is a Bolo brand. Here's what it looks like. It's usually written in clothes on the same color. Like it'll have black font and black tags. So it can be kind of hard to see, but usually you can tell by the quality. So that was a really good sale. Next up was a lug purse that sold for $21. This was a red orange shimmy quilted crossbody. I got this with a whole bunch of other lug items at a Goodwill a couple of months ago. I sold these Judy blue jeans for $24. These were a pair of skinny, high-rise stretch jeans. $24 is okay. Obviously not where I want to be, but still a pretty decent profit. Next up was a Lululemon skirt that sold for $31. This was called the Time to Shine skirt. I have been using pickleball lately in my tennis skirts for keywords because pickleball is very big and it is a growing sport. So that is good. Let me check and see when this is supposed to be from. So this is from the 15th through the 22nd. Okay, so next up after the pickleball skirt, we have another pair of Judy blue jeans. These ones sold for $24. These were a size 32 high-rise flare, and they were striped. So a cool style, but not quite as much as I want again, but I'm still okay with like moving that on for $24. At least it's better than like $10. I sold these Lululemon Dance Studio pants for $45. These sold really quickly. These were in a size 12. They were an older style. I could tell because the number in here, the size dot didn't have any numbers and letters around it. But the Dance Studio is a classic style that a lot of people who like Lululemon, they really like that style of pants. Next up was a Johnny Was shirt that sold for $38. This was in a size extra small and it was new with tags, but I think it didn't sell for as much because it wasn't the typical Johnny Was, like really colorful and bright and floral. So I think that's why it didn't do as good. I have had this for quite a long time at this point. So I was happy to move that out. Next up were a pair of Sorel boots that sold for $25. I sold these lower because as you can see up here, there was some color transfer, maybe for some jeans or pants or something, and I couldn't clean it off. So I did sell them cheaper for $25. If they would have been clean, I think I could have got more money for them. But since they weren't, I did have to take that lower offer. After that, I sold this fuzzy, I don't know how you say this. This was an amazing sale at $108. This was a size small black midi ruched skirt. This brand can definitely be a bolo. Here's what the tag looks like if it will load. I've had some things sell in this brand for not as much and sit for a long time, but some things sell really well. So I'm sorry, but it's not showing you the tag. You can see it over here, but it's not pulling it up big. So anyway, you're going to have to trust me on that. F-U-Z-Z-I. If you're listening or if you can't see the tag, that is how it is spelled. And honestly, it feels kind of cheap. Next up was the North Face jacket that sold for $65. This was a size medium women's brown thermoball jacket. I just sold another thermoball jacket yesterday. So it'll usually say it right here on this little tag on the side, and it has that same like little square patterns on the thermoball. So that's what you want to be on the lookout for with those. That was a great sale. Here's another one. And this one was also a North Face size medium thermoball jacket. So you can see all the little squares. That's usually a thermoball jacket, but you can check by the side and then you can check the style number inside of the tag just to make sure if you want to. But those were two great back-to-back sales. Yeah, this was last Friday. Next up was a vintage Disney sweatshirt in a size large. This was a red zip-up hoodie, Mickey Mouse, super cute, $15. I don't think I talked about this last week. At least I shouldn't have because this was still Friday sales, and I've been trying not to include the Friday sales, but I feel like I did because I feel like I remember the soft surrounding sweater, and I feel like I remember that giraffe sweater because I had somebody comment on it. So let's just be done with Poshmark, and let's go on to eBay. First up on eBay, I sold this Gudrun Schoden dress for $55. I've already sold this once, and what I accidentally did was sent the wrong dress. I sent a fresh produce dress that had a really similar pattern, and it was in the same box. Oh, and she returned it, and then she didn't come back and buy the correct dress. So I just relisted it. It's still sold for $55, which is great. This is a Bolo brand. Here's what the tag looks like. That's kind of hard to read. So it'll probably easily be recognizable when you see it. Next up were a pair of Keen boots. So, okay, let me tell you what I did here. You can see here it says sold with an extra 20% off coupon discount. So up until Wednesday, my sales on eBay were really slow. All week, they were really slow. So the first thing that I did is I went in to my marketing tab, I think, and I ran a new markdown sale. I had a markdown sale going before that, but I felt like it wasn't getting much traction. I don't know why. So I just ended everything. And then I went ahead and did 4 different markdowns. So I did things that I've had for 30 days to 90 days, 90 days to 180, 180 to, I don't know, whatever it was. It was like 3 to 6 months, 6 to 9 months, 9 months plus. So the 9 months plus, I think, or the year plus has 75% off. I did a 50% off, and then I think I did a 30. And that did start resulting in some sales. I also decided to end my 10% coupon and put back my 20% coupon, which that definitely helped too. So what I need to figure out is with my 20% coupon and like listing something for 40, this sold for 32. So that is lower than I want to sell, because after I take out my fees and my average cost of goods, that's sometimes, I guess it just depends, but for the most part, that's not going to give me my $20 profit that I'm looking for. So if I want to keep my 20% off coupon, I'm going to have to find things that are worth a little bit more or list like a few dollars higher and just run the coupon. So I don't know, but it did work for me. So if your eBay store is stale, try running a markdown sale and try using a coupon, because I think it'll help you. I just need to figure out what I'm going to do. So if you run coupons on eBay, comment down below and let me know what % off that you do them at, and also maybe what you promote at. Right now I'm promoting at 5%, and I'm going to try keeping on the 20%. Maybe I'll try like a 15%, but I don't know. I don't know if it'll work as well. So anyway, $32 was the price after the coupon for these Keen boots. These were in a size 8.5. These sold very, very fast, even though they were an older style. So I was happy with that. Next up were a pair of Lululemon leggings that sold for $14. Again, I'm passing on a lot of Lululemon lately. They're a size 2 also, really small. So goodbye. Next up, a pair of Gucci boots that sold for $450. I got these off of ThreadUp from some credit. I had sent in a whole bunch of old stale inventory, and I had enough credit to buy these. And so I went ahead. I had them listed, I think, for $600 because they were selling around $500 or $600. But I have had them for a while, and then somebody offered me $450, and I was like, I'm just taking it, because not that I didn't spend my own money, because I sent in a bunch of inventory, but it was like the money didn't, I don't know. The money didn't come out of my account. Just like when I take stuff into a consignment store that's stale, I feel like it's not, and they're just like, oh, here, you can have store credit. Like, I feel like it's not my own money, even though it kind of is in a way. So anyway, I gave the person a good deal. It really bumped up my bank account, which is great because I'm going to Disney in a couple of weeks and I need to buy Christmas presents for my kids still. So I'm like, you know what? I am not the type of person that's like, I'm going to hold out for 6 more months. Like, no thanks. So anyway, these were really cool. Not something I normally ever find. Obviously, you can find decent deals on ThreadUp sometimes of designer stuff when it goes on sale. You just have to do a lot of research. Next up was a North Face men's jacket that sold for $32, so they used coupon. I ended up listing this myself because of this rip and this flaw. Otherwise, I would have gave it to my brother. I give him a lot of men's items to resell. Next up was a Lululemon sweatshirt that only sold for $22. I should have been able to sell it for more, but it had some stains that I could not get out. And this material, it's called like a soft stream material. And see this discoloration right here? I couldn't get that out. And so I sold it cheap. Otherwise, I should have been able to sell it for more. Here's another Bolo brand. This is some Lucchese boots. I think that's how you say it. These sold for $125. I just found these on a new cart at the Goodwill recently. Okay. Sorry, I'm taking a drink. And it'll have a spell out right there. So huge Bolo, $125 with that. I'm so happy. Next up was an icebreaker men's jacket that sold $36.80 with a coupon. So the $36.80 means it's already discounted, and then they also used a coupon on that. So I was happy with that. It was kind of worn out, but that was a good sale. I sold this Alex Evenings dress, $32 again, 20% off of the $40. Black maxi gown in a size 16W. I am passing up a lot of that lately, and that was an eBay sale. So should we see what it is? Okay, this sale was amazing. So this is the Johnny Was skirt. You guys are going to get a sneak preview for next week. And it sold for $150. So let's cover up the buyer's address. $150 on the Johnny Was skirt. One of them sold for $250, and then another one sold for like really low of this exact style. I did pay up for this like $45 at a consignment store. But I was like, I'm just going to list it really high and see. But then somebody offered me $150 this morning, and I've only had it listed for a few days. I'm like, I am not passing that up. So that is a great way to start my Friday. Yay. Okay, next up, A-Day pants, A-D-A-Y. These were a pair of joggers, and they sold for $55. They were called the Pack It Up pants, and you can see that because it literally says it right there. Off-white beige, no coupon in there, just used promoted listings. Next up was a Lululemon Swiftly Tech in a size 4. This sold for $31, I think. I think that's 20% off of $35, which was my full asking price. I found a bunch of these recently. Or is it 28? Maybe it's 28. Anyway, I don't remember. Okay, Ellie. Somebody locked their car, and that's triggering to Ellie. Next up were a pair of Laredo boots. These sold for $50. These were a pair of men's, size 11. I got these, weirdly enough, they were at my local Council Bluffs Goodwill, which usually sucks, but they had a whole bunch of good brand shoes all of a sudden come out in this one cart. And it was I think it was the new color. And so, I don't know, it just seemed weird to me that it was like every shoe in the to-go rack was good. So I'm like, did you guys try to list this somewhere yourself and didn't work? I don't know. Anyway, $50 in those. Next up was a J. Crew coat that sold for $80 with a coupon. This was a new with tags, green Sherpa teddy coat. Small size too, extra small petite, but it did still sell pretty well, I think, because of the style. Next up was the brand Ryan Michael. This sold for $32. Women's large paisley pearl snap. So I've sold this brand once before. It is a Western brand, and it has done pretty good for me, and sell-through rate's pretty good. So I would keep an eye out for that if I was you. Next up was an Anthropologie velvet dress that only sold for $21. Velvet is going to be selling really good right now for Christmas, but Anthropologie is very oversaturated, and I did have this for a while, so I was willing to move on. Next up was the brand Lawson Cashmere. This sold for $28 with a coupon. I picked this up just because it was cashmere, and it was extra fine merino wool and baby camel. But wait, it says Lawson Cashmere, but it doesn't have cashmere in the material. So that's weird. Anyway, I wouldn't get that again because it sat for a long time and it just is not that good of a known brand. Next up are a pair of Ariat jeans that sold for $34. These were in a size 30 long. So if they have an L right there, that means they're long. Sometimes that can make them sell quicker or they can be more desirable. Ariat's a Western brand. I usually do pick up their jeans. Here's a pair of Judy Blue. This sold for $32. So size 14 high-rise straight. So I need to really do some research or figure out. So let me know for you guys, if you sell Judy Blue, if it's selling for above 30, what styles and what sizes are selling for you. Because I feel like there's still some that can do okay. So anyway, those ones did sell with a coupon. Next up was a Land's End puffer vest that only sold for $16. Navy blue, I measured it. It measured like a 2X. Not great. An All Saints top, this one sold for $31.20 with a coupon, so this was on sale. It was new with tags. All Saints is very expensive, but I don't know. It just doesn't do great for most items. Here's another Frank and Eileen item, $52 with a coupon. This was a women's size large shirt. So again, the Frank and Eileen sells so good. So really excited to find that at the thrift store. I sold a pair of Democracy jeans for $18 with a coupon. These were in a size 8. They were an Absolution high-rise skinny. So not the best size or style. Goodbye. Next up, I sold this Baltic Born sweater. This was a large black and white chevron wool blend sweater. I do pick up Baltic Born very rarely anymore. It's got to be a really pretty dress, but even some of the dresses are really oversaturated, so I don't know if I would continue to pick those up. This is a new brand. I know about it, but I've never sold it before, Rowback. I should have been able to get more for this, but it had a company embroidery on the sleeve. So if it didn't, I would have been able to sell this for more. But here's what it looks like, and it has a little outline of a dog. So if you see that, pick it up. It is a very trendy brand right now. Next up was a vintage Orvis men's coat that sold for $75. This was a bomber coat. So this is an example of an item that I just decided to sell myself, even though it was men's, because I was like, you know what, brother? I need to make some money too. So I give him a ton of stuff, but every once in a while I'm like, you know what? I feel like listing this. And this was one of them. So that was a great sale. I sold these Peruvian Connection pants in a size 8. These were a pair of burgundy velvet flare pants, and they did sell fairly quickly. Again, the velvet with the holidays. So if you have anything velvet, make sure you're getting it listed. Next up was a pair of Lululemon leggings in a size 4. These were the Wonder Under train tights, and they sold on an offer for $15. If it's something that I've been sitting for a long time and someone sends me an even lower offer than my sale, sometimes I still take it because I'm like, let's just move it out and make a little bit of money and hopefully get a better item. Next up was a Duluth trading sweater in a size medium. This was a women's new with tags sweater, retailed for $79.50, only sold for $20. Lame. I sold this Democracy jeans in a size 18. These are a pair of high-rise skinny. These ones sold for $35 with a 10% coupon. So that actually was pretty good. I don't know. I don't know if I should pick these up or not anymore because for the most part, they're not selling that great. Next up was an Adidas Farm Rio jacket. Sold for $65 with a 10% coupon, new with tags. I've already sold this before. It got returned, and so I did go ahead and sell it again. That's a pretty good price. I sold this J. Crew cashmere sweater for my full asking price of $35. This was in a size extra small, yellow cashmere pullover sweater, and it was from fall of 2023, so a really newer item. I sold this Allie Miles top in a size small. This was a green oversized top. I'm trying to only pick up Allie Miles lately in the plus sizes or maybe an extra large. I sold this Michael Kors purse for $30. I've had this for a really, really long time. Michael Kors does not tend to sell very quickly for me. So let me know about you guys if you're selling it and how it does for you. Next up was this Desigual hoodie that sold for $33 really fast in about a week. I don't pick up all Desigual, but the style of this, it was just very bright and colorful and pretty. And I thought it would do good, and it did. Next up is a pair of Alpen Rock pants. I just picked these up at a local consignment store. I paid $9. They sold for $50. These were the Sloan Moto skinny pants. So really excited on that for a brand I've never sold before. These Tecovas boots were in the same new Goodwill cart as the Laredo ones, I think. These were a size 11, and they were called the Roy Suede pull-on boots. Even though it seemed like they had wear on this suede, it didn't matter. They sold so fast for $110. I don't know if all Tecovas boots sell that much, but these ones, the sell-through rate and the comps were so good. Next up, we have this new with tags Talbot's vest that sold for $40, which is kind of surprising to me because it's a size small, but maybe just because this could be a very classic Christmas style is why I did so good. Another velvet item. So velvet is like the fabric of the week. This sold for $35 with a 10% coupon. Talbot's velvet blazer in a size 16W. I've already sold this. It got returned to me. I sold it again. Here is an example of another Lululemon soft stream pullover sweater like the black one. This one, however, was in good condition and it sold for $55. So same style. This one was blue, but it didn't have any flaws. So if you see that style, pick it up as long as it's in good condition, unlike me. Next up, we have a puffer vest. This is from LL Bean in an extra large, a down puffer vest, 10% coupon with $19.60. I sold these 3 Lululemon Swiftly Tech shirts in a bundle on eBay, which was amazing. This person bundled them all together and bought them. So all size 2 Swiftly Techs, and she paid $105 for all of them. So that was so good. Next up was a Citron Santa Monica kimono cardigan, silk. This sold extremely quickly before I could get it cross-listed. It sold for $45. Next up was a vintage Dress Barn dress. And this was in a size large, pink midi dress, very Y2K. Again, I'm not the best with style-based pieces, and that sold for $20. That's it for my sales, you guys. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. I'm going to get this uploaded, and I'm going to go do some shopping. I might be trying my first batch of sourdough bread this week. I've been working on my starter. I've had it going for about 10 to 11 days now. I think it's ready to bake with, but I'm not good at cooking. I'm good at baking, but I'm not good at cooking, and I've never done sourdough before. So I might try sandwich bread at first, just because my husband, I think, wants to have some of that for his lunch. So we'll see if I can do it. If you guys do sourdough, let me know down below if you have any tips or comments. Okay, I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye. Guess what I forgot to do again? Share my numbers with you. I'm still not used to this. On Depop, I made $51.40. On Mercari, I made $69.01. eBay, I made $1,283.42. And on Poshmark, I made $755.39. Total profit for the week after fees and cost of goods, $2,159.22. So pretty great week.